Hi everyone, welcome back to Craft Time. Today we're going to be making a fall wreath together. So get out all your craft supplies and your templates and let's get started. Let's take a look at what we need to do today's craft. I have a paper plate as well as 2 pages of leaf templates. I also have a piece of green paper, a pipe cleaner, some really cute craft leaves, and some craft sand. And of course I have my glue and my scissors and all my supplies. So to get started, what we're going to do is we are going to take a marker or a crayon or a pencil, whatever you have, and we're just going to create a circle on our paper plate. And you can make this as big or as small as you'd like, but what I want to do is sort of get an idea of where I'd like to cut. And this is the area that we're going to cut out. Now you could also go and use the line that's in the paper plate. Now I have a harder paper plate, which means I'm going to have to work a little bit harder when I'm cutting. So I'm going to go very slowly. And then I'm going to cut right in the middle like this to create a little bit of a hole for myself. And this will allow my scissors to go in so that I can more easily cut around. Now remember, take your time like I said, and use this circle as a gauge of how big you want your circle to be. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just a guide to help us cut. I'm just going to go a little bit outside of my line. I'm going to go all the way until the end, like so. And that looks good to me. Now, if you wanted to go in now and make it a little bit bigger, you could do that. But all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some tape. You could use masking tape. You could also use clear tape like this. We're just going to go in, we're going to flip it. And we're going to take our tape, and when we press it together so that it's nice and tight, we're going to use our tape to close the cut that we just made. I don't need a lot. I'm going to go on this side too. I'm just going to do a little bit down here. That feels good to me, and it's very secure, so that's just enough tape. Now what I want to do is I want to pick some fall colors. Now I like using markers, but maybe for coloring this, I'm going to take my greens, my browns, my orange, my yellow, and my red colors. Maybe I could use purple also if I had it. And I just want to go around and start very randomly coloring around the plate. And you'll notice I'm not doing all the areas, and the reason for that is because I'm going to fill in the spaces in between with different colors. So why don't you grab your crayons or your markers and head on over and do the same. The next thing I want to do is I want to grab my templates of my leaves. I have 2 pages. We might only end up using 1, I'm not sure. So let's grab one. And the first thing I want to do is I want to look at the colors that I want to use. Now because I started with crayon, I could continue with crayon. So let's do that. Let's take one leaf. You choose the leaf that you like. And let's just go on in and color that in. I'm going to stick to my same colors, and I'm just going to do a good job of coloring in each leaf. I like the way that looks. Let's go and grab a yellow or an orange. I'm going to do another one, just that. Easy peasy. This is not a difficult craft, but it does let us create something unique in the way that we color our leaves and the way that we place them on our wreath. I'm excited about the fall and being able to do more crafts to celebrate the season. Let's go ahead and do a yellow one together. And again, you could also use purple or different shades of orange and red. Think about trees in the fall and how they change color, and add those colors. And I'm going to go ahead and add a green. Just like that. Lovely. I want to show you another way to color. Let's grab 3 different colors that we've already used. Now, one way to do it is we could take the one color like this, and then we could take our other color like this, while at the same time we overlap and do this. And you see the different colors in one leaf? Let's try that again. Let's take a yellow and an orange, and then a red. It looks cute, right? So you can either do it this way or you can do it this way. If you wanted, you could take your brown or your black crayon and you could add around the sides so that it gives it a little bit more depth. You see how that changes it a little bit? And it looks a little more like this leaf. Just changing it, and then when we cut around it, you won't see how you went outside the lines, and what you're left with is some really cool patterns inside of your leaves. So that's just another idea, and of course you might have your own idea. So let's go ahead and do all of these, and when we're done, we'll check back in a minute. Really good. Now that we have done this, you could either, I was just thinking, we could take it and cut out one of the shapes so that it would create the same shape on the back, if that's what you wanted to do, or if you had different colors like red, orange, and yellow paper, you could use this as a template. I'm not going to do that today, but I wanted to share that idea. Instead, what I'm going to be doing is just taking my one sheet and I'm going to be cutting out each of my leaves. So to start, let's cut out our first leaf over here. I'm just going to leave a little bit around the edges. And take your time, as always, watching your fingers and going slowly. And you'll notice that the parts that I went outside of the lines, they don't even matter anymore. That looks really nice. Let's go ahead and do this one together. Now, the smaller the leaves, the more difficult it can be when you're using your scissors. So just remember to go slowly. Now, it is okay to ask for help, but remember that you are very good with your scissor work now. So challenge yourself to cut out your own leaves and see how many of them you can do all by yourself. Let's do one more. Go around. love that there are so many different types of leaves on this template. It's going to make our wreath look very, very festive. Brilliant. So now that you know how you're going to cut out and you've already colored, let's go ahead and do all of the leaves on the page and then check back as soon as we're done. That looks really great. Now that we've completely cut out all of those leaves, that was a lot of work. Let's look at our circular wreath holder here, and let's take our glue and get it ready because we want to start putting these on. So this is where we get to play and make it uniquely our own. So I'm going to start by taking some glue and just putting it like that, and then I'm going to attach it. Now you'll see it hangs over. I didn't glue it over like this, and I left some room like that, and it makes it pop more. So let's do that in a couple of places. Let's do it here, and maybe here. And let's just play with the direction. Whatever feels good to you, this is your wreath. I'm going to put some small ones down. Maybe some long ones like that, small one here, and then I'm just going to start putting them all the way around. Now we have a lot of leaves, so you can take your time. You may not use all of them, and remember this was made from a simple paper plate, so you can even go with your second piece and do another wreath for someone else. Like the way that pops. So I want to use these ones too. I found a few in my craft box, and I'm just going to put down glue. You might need a little bit more glue just because it's fabric. So make sure there's a little bit of a glob wherever you place it. And just very gently dab it. Oh my goodness, I love this gold one. That is very, very fall. This one's pretty too. And then I have 3 more, so I'm just going to put 1, 2, and maybe 1 more right there. So we'll do 1 and 2. I'll change my direction a little bit, and 3. And that looks really beautiful. Now the next thing that I want to do is I found some craft sand in my craft box. So I want to take out my tray, and you know why. Sand and sequins, sparkles, they all make quite a mess. So if you have something you can use, take it out now. And then I just want to go around just on various spots, not everywhere. I just want to add some texture. I'm putting my glue here, there, randomly. Maybe on the top of the leaf, maybe on the bottom, maybe on the middle. I just want to put some glue because wherever I put the glue is where my sand will stick. And that feels good to me. So knowing that I've got that on there, I'm going to take some of my sand in my fingers, and I'm just going to start going around my wreath. And I want to do this rather quickly because I don't want my glue to settle. And because sometimes I can't see everywhere I put the glue, I'm just going to put the sand on all the leaves. A little bit, smidgen here, smidgen there. Because when I shake it off, it will go right onto my tray. That feels really good. I'm going to shake it onto my tray, like so. And it leaves the sand, the colored sand, on top, which gives it a little bit more texture. I love that. Remember to put the sand you don't use back in your craft box for next time. The last thing I want to do is I want to take my pipe cleaner and I want to fix it to the back. So it doesn't really matter which side you decide to use. But you know what I'll do? I'll use this right here. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to create it so that it closes, because I'm going to use it like a handle so that I can hang. And once it's secure, and the way I'm doing that is I'm just wrapping it around. Once it's secure, we're just going to tape it on so that now we have something to hang on a door or on your fridge or maybe even from the window. So let's finish that up like so. And then I'm just going to take my tape and I'm going to do two little pieces. So I'm going to squish it together. That feels like it's big enough for me. And I'm just going to tape it on, one down here. Maybe I'll put another piece right on there. And maybe I'll put another piece right there. And all that's going to do is just keep it in place so that when I flip it, I have this to hang from. And there you go, you've made an adorable, very beautiful wreath for fall. And there you go, your very own fall wreath. Very nicely done and uniquely your own. Remember to send me photos. I can't wait to see you next time.